keep doing that on here?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? From Dev's Birthday Feast, I'm Dave, and you're watching Pseudo Hot Ones, the show that we're ripping off, where we ask hot questions with even hotter wings. Today I'm joined by Dev's sister, Dianna Chetty. You may know her as a nudist, a nurse, as well as a self-appointed nerd. You may also remember her from such events as this party, high school, or perhaps your Facebook feed. Dianna, thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure, Dave.
Now, Dianna, how are you with spicy foods?
Having pre-watched the show that we've stolen but not stolen from, no copyright infringement.
Borrowed.
Borrowed from.
Not for profit.
Not profit, don't see where asses. I would say, honestly, maybe like up to 4. That was about 4 is where I'm at. Anything beyond that, I'm like, this is gonna burn.
Okay,
It's gonna
so
burn so bad.
How did you decide to agree to this today? Was it because you'd seen the show and just had morbid curiosity,
No.
or is it that it's Dev's birthday
No.
and she's hard to shop for,
No.
or is it just because somehow I said we're doing this and you said, okay, I guess this is what we're doing?
That's the one.
That sounds like
That's
the one.
Where I was like,
Okay.
what happened now? How did I agree to this? And it was
Right,
already
right.
happening. And I'm like, I don't remember agreeing to that. Was there a contractual verbal thing? Because I don't even said I said into it. But it's cool. I've got milk. I've got medications. Oh, but on that. So I've got a plan. Let me just preface what I've been already doing in anticipation of this event. Okay, so as a nurse, as a self-appointed nurse, I've already taken this. This is ranitidine, and if anybody else wants them, I got some extras. This is like liquid Tums, so I might do random shots of this throughout it. And this is liquid lidocaine, so it's like an actual topical numbing agent. But it's oral, so I won't die from that. And so I do have plans. These are my backups. Also, I don't want to have that story of somebody who's like, I ate hot wings and I forgot to wash my hands and my vulva burned for 3 days. I'm doing it this way.
Loved up. You got your medications ready to go. Should we dive in?
We're on
So this
level
is the
one.
classic. This is level 1.
Okay.
Drink aloe juice.
Okay. Okay, that's a 1.
Nope, it's not.
Okay, swallow quick, swallow.
Okay.
That made me so worried. I'm like, that's a 1.
This is number 1.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So that one's much nicer.
Yep.
I feel crazy.
Oh, it's so
Yeah, it's
pleasant.
respectable. It's a
It's
nice
a
Throw a
flavor.
little bit of.
That was awesome. That was a nice flavor.
That's nice. It's not too bad.
Super pleasant, especially after my
Yeah,
lips
now
still
we can
burning
give
up
it a
here where I made
proper-
contact.
There we go. That's got a little bit.
Thank you.
And I like pre-lubricated. I want to say
Oh, look at that.
I put chapstick on like a crack whore. I was like, it
There
wasn't
you
just
go.
all over.
Anyone else want some more?
Since this clearly is not your day off activity, what does a normal day off look like for you? Is it a day of relaxation, maybe a few errands, or do you have a pretty packed calendar and you're jet setting from party to party?
That's exactly it. And I'm not hanging with Beyonce. I'm often hanging with somebody else who's cool. I have no other names. Oh, I should do that, yeah.
We'll get there, don't worry.
No, mostly I just spent 12 hours playing Witcher yesterday. 12 hours.
Any
You guys don't know what Witcher 3 is?
flavor?
Don't start. That is like craft that you will never get out of, and then you're like, next thing you're hooking for it.
So you've been living, speaking of having your days off, you've been living in the heart of Yelltown for a few years now. It's a neighborhood that's known to host a whole spectrum of activities. Maybe jogging on the seawall or going boutique shopping.
Oh yeah, I do some of those.
Sitting and drinking craft beers or going out and dinner and dancing and partying until 3 a.m. What I'm wondering is, what's it like to observe that environment in your own backyard day in and day
Oh,
out?
I love it! That's a good question. I like that one. When it's not just about me. Yaletown is fucking hilarious because, okay, I've lived downtown for 16 years now, and I will say that it is absolutely fascinating to watch the evolution of the party scene in Vancouver. Especially, like, I used to live off Granville Street, and so I would love those, like, Saturday morning shifts where I'm heading to work at 7 in the morning, and I'm walking past all the people who are, like, literally still passed out on the fucking street or, like, waking up and they're like, what the fuck? And like all the like shops like hosing off their front like because it's all covered in vomit. You know, like crack hoes, not crack hoes, but just bitches at the bar. They're like stumbling home, but they've taken off the heels finally because their feet are so fucking tired and they're like tiny skirts, but they're walking home barefoot. I'm like, where did you even come from? It's 7 in the morning.
Walk of shame.
Yeah,
Walk of shame.
yeah, exactly. Walk of shame, but they're coming from a club somewhere. And then in Yaletown, I do think it's interesting because, yeah, like. Tim and I were just talking about this every night. There's this, I don't know if it's one dude or if it's a couple of guys who just rotate, but there's definitely some guys who just
True story.
and they just walk past screaming crazy things. And I'm like, is that a homeless person? Is it a drunk guy? Is it a homeless drunk guy? Is it like some guy off his meds? Is it just a guy who's pissed off because he got a parking ticket? Like, you just don't know. Yeah, I would say that it is interesting to, and also that because it's Yaletown, there is an element of when people are going out, it's not just like going out, it's like, we are going out. We are done up to go out.
They're looking to be on the scene.
They look terrified. They've got LA face and they're like such assholes. You're like, I will never want to hang out with you ever. Clearly, because it's my idea of a good time.
Should we move on to number 2?
Let's move on to number
Alright, so this is Sauce Bay.
2. Sauce bag. My lips are still burning from the 10.
We'll just pretend that didn't
Or
happen.
that didn't happen.
It's like a fine wine.
Very impressive.
Oh, nice. It's doable.
Diana, there's a philosophical debate about whether knowledge has its own intrinsic value or
Nice and soft.
you need to be able to apply that knowledge in order for it to have value. So with that in mind, how often do you get asked for casual medical opinions? Is this look serious? Should I go to the hospital? From people that you know or don't know on your days off.
And I'm not naming names, Bevan Hale, but...
Excuse me, not my name anymore, is it, bitch?
I would say all nurses encounter this for sure, and I would say that it is entertaining the varying levels of medical requesting information. I'm totally like, I think all nurses are a little bit like, tell me your grossest stuff. I don't even care. I bet I can guarantee I've seen worse or heard worse.
Have you had any wild stories where you're out doing something and somebody has one of those, is there a doctor in the house? And you're able to be like, actually I'm a nurse, step aside.
Close enough. Some of us on a road trip, we went around a corner, there's a rolled car. When we drove past it to get out of the way, there was like a head sticking out the side underneath the rolled car. I'm like, oh my god, it's a fucking severed head, oh god. So first responder on the scene, so we got out. I walked over to it, I'm like, oh my god, it's a severed head, it's a severed head. And then the head went like this. And I looked at it, I was like, oh god, the head is looking at me! I'm like, okay, it's not just a head. I'm like, oh my god, that means it's a quadriplegic. Oh my god, I gotta support the airway. And then it ended up being totally fine. And that guy was totally fine, and it was just a weird angle. He was not in any way pinned by the car. He was able to walk away, and it was a happy ending, but I was like, oh god, I thought I'd have to do like tracheotomy with a pen. Oh, sorry. But I didn't have to, so I'm glad that happened.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I've also delivered like 3 babies in cabs.
Nice. Congratulations.
Same thing.
Were they named after you?
Yeah.
Nice. All 3?
All 3.
Impressive.
But they didn't know my name, they just called me Baby Brown Lady.
Do you want to go for number 3?
Yeah.
All right.
Agreeable.
So this is
The lips.
Shaquanda's hot pepper sauce.
Oh, once again, these are nice. These are nice
Well.
sauce.
Nice. I like this one a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. Fruity taste. Okay. A little heat, not too vinegary.
Then I can.
So
I like that.
traveling is clearly a passion of yours, as evidenced by a very well documented and decorated passport, as well as an extensive list of check-ins on your Facebook page. So what I'm hoping to do is just list off a few places and get your initial reactions to them. Maybe how was the trip in general? Is there something that sticks out?
Okay.
Sort of go from there. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Iceland.
Iceland. Cold, but like it just felt like I traveled back in time, like I was in Barbarella and like a prehistoric land.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, that is trashy good times. I liked being on the bayou with the guy with no teeth and he's like calling us a crocodile, not even lying. He's like, call Big Blue. Hey Big Blue, where you at, Big Blue? Where you at, Big Blue? And he did that for real. And the big fucking crocodile did come out. It did come. So I'm like,
Nice.
that guy knew his croc.
Japan.
Japan, that taught me that like people are holy fuck if you that is like that country has earned the title and like slash like stereotype of being efficient. That is like fucking warranted. That I've never seen such an efficient country at doing everything.
Turkey.
Turkey was like I know they're not Jews, but it's like, if I were a rich man, na 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 na. It's like that. Does that make sense? That's Turkey.
Australia.
Australia. There was so much crazy wildlife that I've never seen before. It's very exotic.
Shepherd Ranch at 100 Mile House.
Oh God.
Aww. That is very much like.
That was the appropriate response.
Aww. I mean, was my answer. Steal her answer. That it's interesting because this is like frontiersy. These people have literally bought a chunk of land that is just like undeveloped and gone from that to like stripping it down, making a space, clearing the wood, building the house. It's like Little House on the Prairie, like actually watching them build a homestead. And it's crazy thing as humans we can do that because we're all used to like prefab houses and shit like that. And they're like, we sunk a well today. I'm like, Jesus, what is that? I don't even know.
Shall we go to number 4?
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
So this is the lucky dog.
Look at your car. I don't know anything
dog.
rest.
Got a little bit more heat, a little bit sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
Do you find this a hotter? I don't find it hotter. Can I ask who in the audience is actually trying the hot wings as we go?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
Let's also put her hand up.
Okay, so since we're moving on to Lucky Dog, anyone who knows anything about you knows that you have a definite soft spot for animals.
Hate them.
As someone who regularly dog sits for a variety of families, do you have any training tips for new dog owners or suggestions for people living with a challenging dog?
Yes. Oh my God. I think it's the same. Granted, I don't have kids, so I feel like I'm kind of talking on my ass on this. But I will say it's all about maintaining, like, you are the top dog from, like, day one. You have to be like, I am here, and I love you, and I put you in your place, but you're still below me. I assume that's what parents do.
I gave you life.
I gave you life. I'm here, you're there. And I think once they feel comfortable in that, and once you repeatedly show them that, and like, because dogs, they want to fill spaces and like energy, and they feel like if you are uncertain yourself, they think, okay, you don't know, so maybe I'll step into the leadership role. And once they start doing that, they start calling the shots, and that's when you get trouble because the dog shouldn't be calling the shots. So I think if you step into that and maintain that from day one with every interaction, and it's hard because you want to let shit slide sometimes, that helps the dynamics. And then, I don't know, just run them a lot.
So speaking of pets, what do you remember about living with and growing up with Snowflake the goose?
Snowflake the goose was a bullshit pet living up in the suburbs. Can I just say for the record? Does anybody here want to cuddle with a grown goose that is not imprinted with you? You want to know what that is as a pet? That is hissing when you come close to it. That is beating its wings. That's honking. That's shitting like excessively all over your backyard, so you can't even go in your backyard. And that's all your neighbors being like, "Why do you have a goose for a pet?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. I grew up. This is the suburbs. This isn't like your little house like in the countryside. It's a weird pet. I didn't like it. It was not fun. There was nothing fun about those years. I wouldn't say I bonded with that thing at all. When I found out it died and we ate it, I was like, well, that just happened.
Sorry.
I know, I wasn't expecting these answers either, but here we are.
Well, shit got real hard that winter.
Can we move on really quickly?
All right. You'll never know the story about how I ate that thing.
I imagine with delicious hot sauce.
Yeah.
Los Calientes.
This one's from Mexico.
You may know that it's made by the company of First We Feast and Hot Ones. This is their sauce.
It's your fish one.
This is the one that consistently gets good reviews, but it's delicious.
It was delicious.
Go low,
I
go
see why
low.
they did that. And it's got a little sweet. I'm loving this worm we're going here.
I mean, having watched many episodes of that show,
The show that goes.
and I'm familiar with the fact that every time whoever they're interviewing with comes to this sauce, they're like, oh, it's delicious. And I always thought, how delicious can it be? Very delicious. Very delicious. Now we're in the middle of the show. There's a segment that we're going to steal for this one called Explain That Gram, where we take pictures off your Instagram and we try to get a little bit of a deeper context into them.
Yeah.
So, because you don't have Instagram, or you do, where you just don't post on it,
Nothing on it.
That's about it.
what we did instead was to find a little quick workaround where we just went with random photos from your Facebook feed and other people's Facebook feeds that hopefully you can have a little bit of context on.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay, that's me crock baiting. That's in New Orleans. And it was stinking hot, so it makes sense why I'm just in my bikini. Also, it makes me understand why there's so many bikinis got like chicks gone wild in like southern United States. But it's so fucking hot there. You're
Makes
just like, why
sense.
wear clothes?
Oh, so she was on CSI New Orleans.
I played hooker number 3.
Did you really? Oh.
Okay, that's me as a Spider Woman for Halloween, I assume.
Probably.
Now it's just a Wednesday.
It's just something we felt like doing.
Everyone can.
I'm starting to feel like I'm developing like cold sores on my lips from that first one. This is me in a commercial that I did with my girlfriend. And also, okay, I will say, so this is for the Hallmark Week commercial we did as a lesbian couple getting a baby for Christmas. They just ship them in the mail. Hallmark sells babies now.
It wasn't for Hallmark, it was for Amazon. They ship them overnight.
They ship them, like expedite baby shipping.
I'm
I
kidding,
will
it
say
was
this was the most awkward scene to film because you had to. I personally, I'm not in the scene with Tiff. This is a scene where you had to just repeatedly do the same like an action over and over again, and I'm not an actress, right? So they're like, okay, could you just slide your boot off? And then just take the other one off and then just stand up and then like approach the door. And then I'm like, well, what am I reacting to? And they're like, I don't know, you see her? I'm like, okay, am I happy? But it was weird because the boots are covered in a fake snow. And so I had to be careful when I was taking them off because I couldn't kick off the fake snow. And there's actually a dude hiding in the corner right here. Like you can't see him because it has the door tangle. So I'm trying to be like, acting like there's not a dude crouching right there. And so I'm like, he helps me put the boots whatever down because I can't bend because they put me in this tight coat that I can't bend in. And it was just the weirdest.
Should we go?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the Wiltshire Chili Farm Trinidad Scorpion.
Oh. Got scorpion in the title. Can you hear the burping already?
Scorpion juice.
Can you hear the burping? Okay.
I'm missing the wings.
Okay, here we go.
This is when it starts to get serious.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, you've said, take your time while you're eating, but you've said before that if it weren't,
That's a good tongue.
you've said before that if it weren't for nursing, you'd be interested in acting and performing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a claim, it's what I hear. It's a claim that has been backed up by your willingness to engage with random people and sport elaborate costumes. What does it take, in your mind, to walk into a venue and win a costume contest?
Oh, that's easy. One, actual effort in your fucking costume. Get out of here, sexy kitten bullshit. Like, you're not gonna win shit with your sexy little... It's so hard to rant when your tongue is sweating. That saliva went down the wrong way. Yes, you're not gonna win if you've got a shitty little costume you put no effort into. You gotta put the fucking effort into the actual costume. And then, once you put the costume on, I can't even tell you how much it infuriates me when I see people put costumes on and they don't, like, become that character. Like, what the fuck? You put all this effort into making yourself into Jack Sparrow and you're like, hey, how's it going? Like, fuck
I'm Jack
off.
Sparrow.
Like, where's your accent? Where's your swagger? Grab some ass and some rum. That's what you were supposed to be. That's why you dress like that character. Become it. Thank you.
Moving on from that, as a
You get dad in the
as a
audience. Their
self-described
faces as they're eating these wings.
That last one was good. There.
as a, well, we have a narrative. Thanks, go start.
Drink this quick.
As a self-described sci-fi fan, I would love to hear your opinion. Out of this list of three, one of them's gotta go.
Okay.
FBI agent Dana Scully, Buffy Summers the Vampire Slayer,
Right.
or Xena Warrior Princess.
Fuck you! You know that's impossible! I thought you'd give me some weak one I could weed out. That's
Nope.
How you doing?
that one did it! That one did it! Okay,
There's still three to go. Don't
Okay.
get excited.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
the audience is starting to lose it.
Jesus is in the house, yo!
No! Because you know what I love about every single one of those characters? Every single fucking one of them found a way. They got beat to the fucking end, and they found a comeback and a way to work around it.
Can you guys
Like,
please?
not some bullshit Deus Ex Machina where it's like, boom, everything's bad and everything's cool. Like, they battled their shit back every single time with all three of them. And so therefore I say 9 to all of them.
Solid answer. I like it.
Thank you.
It's almost a good thing that you have the labels of the bottles facing away from you because you don't know what's
I
next.
don't want to know.
That jump.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
That jumped.
But less is more.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. I'm just not.
Alright.
Why are you reading my dog?
Okay.
Oh,
I like it
Hell.
complex.
I'm not saying all that.
Okay. As a young adult,
What?
according to your sister,
Thank
you
you.
once told your parents that you would never go into nursing. After nearly 2 decades in the industry, are they more disappointed by your poor life choices or your blatant lies?
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly, my
We're gonna need some more
life.
milk.
And you said you weren't religious, you're speaking in tongues. Oh, so good.
That's so crazy how hard that is. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, motherfucker.
There's a lot of.
Okay. What was it? Life choices or
Life choices or
my
your
ears are
blatant
ringing.
lies?
My ears are ringing.
Mine too.
What the fuck is in that?
The salt and oil is out of your mouth.
Hell.
I'm struggling to
You've
form
o-
milk
you've
for the first
opened
time.
the portal.
I'm actually feeling a little shaky. That's insane.
What? Which one was that?
That was
Bomb. It is
Oh.
officially the worst on the series.
Oh, thanks.
Oh
Would
my
you like some bread?
god.
There's yogurt in the
No,
fridge.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, my life choices are my lives.
Yeah.
They're oblivious to most of my lives, so let's say life choices.
Speaking of poor life choices, now that you've actually tried the bomb,
Yes.
I want to give you a pretty basic nursing quiz and see how you do.
Not gonna go well.
What are the codes? Blue, red, and orange.
Blue is cardiac / respiratory. Red is fire. And orange is toxic waste. I don't know what orange is. I don't know! Lord help me, I don't know.
Make orange is hot sauce.
What's hot sauce?
Code orange! Code orange!
Go North! Go
I'm
North!
going orange right
What's the best time of day to accurately weigh a patient?
now. When they're fattest.
Which is
I don't know.
evening,
When they have a big
afternoon.
meal, then they feel better about themselves and we weigh them next time.
We're on to number 9. The chocolate plague,
Okay, good.
made by Puckerbutt. I'm not making that up. That's legit.
The thing up
Chocolate
here,
pucker
this
butt?
part on the top of
Plate.
that connects my lips to my gums is burning.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's a weird.
I don't know
never
why, but it
noticed that.
is.
Nursing
What the
question.
fuck is that? Okay, pucker butt. Fuck me.
Okay.
All
Okay.
at once.
Oh yeah. Number 9.
Oh,
Is it
chocolate
worse?
butter. Not at first.
No.
Maybe
All-
it's
all
sneaky
the
butt
taste
butt.
buds
The
have
bar
already
was
been-
annihilating.
It's a sneaky pucker.
This is why it's so easy at the end of the interview, because after the bomb, everything else is like easy.
Yeah, the bomb. Like I'm shaking. This is like adrenaline.
Shut up.
I was kind
No,
of
this
nervous for a
isn't as
second.
bad, but I'm sure it still burns. But that really just fucked everything. So it's like, ba 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 ba. Oh! And then you're like, it's still hot. I don't know. Everything burns. Scorched earth.
I agree
Scorched
with literally every person who I've seen try it who's like, nope, that's the worst thing I've
That's
ever
the
put in my mouth.
earth. I agree with that.
You're someone who has spent more than a few quarters on video games over the years. Looking back, talk to me about the spectrum of games, from the arcade classics like Miss Pac-Man, Frogger, Paperboy, to moving on into the more modern virtual reality games like Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, or the open world games like Witcher and Red Dead Redemption.
Ooh, you have.
Are you more nostalgic for the classic games, or are you the type of player who's looking for the next big thing?
Old-timey arcade games were really hard. You had to have really fast fucking reflexes on them, and I do not. And obviously I get shaky when I'm under stress. So that doesn't help your arcading abilities.
So excited.
Now I get why there's a spit bucket. I want to say for the record, Charlize Theron did not do any of this. She's like blotted
She's
her
great,
like
it's under
sweat.
power.
She's like,
Oh, I'm a little sweaty.
Does this burn? She's so classy. So I'm like, evolution of games.
Dust fell off.
Older ones, all about like quick reflexes. Those are hard. Subsequent games got more about storyline, which I like because I'm a nerd and I like fantasy
Put that
or
at a drug party.
science fiction storylines. And the graphics and the music and everything, it's like living inside these beautiful stories. I love it. I will also say 3D games are like a recipe for making you vomit. I can't handle the 3D movement of like doing this, that like rush of blood, not because of the violence, because I'm totally okay with the violence, but the movement around on the fucking like cart where you gotta shoot shit, I was like,
I agree. I absolutely
just was like, I
agree with you.
couldn't, that just is like, no, Goshen Sec off the fucking charts. I didn't like that. That's what I gotta say about that. And then the next big thing, I don't know what that means. Just if it's a good storyline, I want to play it. But if it seems like, no offense, but it's like shoot some prostitutes and drive a fast car, I'm like, I don't want to play that. That's stupid.
Which is the best game to destroy a friendship over? Settlers of Catan, Monopoly, or just having someone else time out on a really well done escape room?
Oh, that's a hard one. Those are 3 hard ones. I would hate anybody who did any of those to me. Note that. Okay, timing on an escape room, that's frustrating, but it happens. Sometimes they're hard, that just happens. That's like group effort. Yeah, buddy. Is your flange burning?
My flanges are.
That's a weird time. You say flange. This thing, I don't know what to call it.
We'll call it a flange.
Call it
It can be a
flange.
flange from now on.
What was the other one's Monopoly? That's classic capitalism. And
You're
makes
doing
everyone
great,
cut a
man.
bitch for like next property. That's pretty neat. But Catan, I've literally seen grown men lose their goddamn minds playing Catan. And I only played a handful of times, so I gotta say Catan.
Stop trying to steal my sheep.
They like flip the table.
We come now to the last dab, and we call it the last dab because it's a little tradition around here to put a little something extra on the last wing.
Runner.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, that dam is good big. It's too big.
Are you ready?
Slightly rough.
Okay.
Just slightly.
Just slightly. I want more of the
Tap out.
Okay.
I think
so,
I deadened my mouth so much I didn't even taste anything on that.
No, where are they?
Devon
managed-
is a bitch. This is a bitch hole.
we've managed to walk all over, up and down
Woo!
the wings of death. So what I want to do is roll out a very special patient for you.
Anyone?
This is Cavity Sam. He needs some serious work
Oh
done.
no! It's an operation. I
What I
fucking
want you
hate
to
this
do,
game.
there's no time limit, there's no right or wrong. I just want you to go around the board once. If you get it, if you miss it, it doesn't matter. I really just want to see how it goes.
You know what is a good way to make you do this? Is to give you things that make your hand shake. You know what? I have a story about this I'm going to share. I used to work on a surgical floor, and we had this nerdy doctor who came in, who I will not name because I don't know how this is going to end up on the interwebs. I can't do that one. And some nurse brought this in on a night shift, and all of us took turns working on it. And I'm doing all the easy ones. The hard one is actually this one here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got 2 pegs that stick up like this. And normally there's a little rubber band that goes like a figure 8 over it. And that's a bitch, because out of all of us, we all practice, and the person who could do it the best, they still managed to touch the sides 3 times. And we're all like, you're pretty good, Jang, right? Good job. And then in the morning, this surgeon came in who, we are surgical nurses, but we're not in the OR with the surgeon, so we never actually see them do their skills. And the surgeon comes in, and he's a very quiet man. He'd always come in and he'd put his suitcase to the side. And then he was kind of a little awkward socially. And we're like, oh, doctor, do you want to do this with us? He's like, oh, what's this? I'm like, wait, you're a surgeon and you've never played the game Operation? Like, that seemed weird to me. Like, I thought all kids are like, this is how I'm starting out. I always want to do this. I don't know. And then he's like, no, what is this? And we're like, oh, okay, well, let's give you the hard one, which is this one here. Can you do it? And he's like, yeah, oh, okay. And he's like, it's so funny because he comes over to and he's kind of like befuddly, like, ooh, ooh. And he's looking at it and he's like examining the tools he's working with. And then all of a sudden it was like, bow, like he was in the zone. And then all of a sudden he was like, he did it like perfect. The very first time, never touched his sides even once. And we're like, well, that's why you're an actual fucking surgeon. And actually, now that I think about it, if you did touch his sides, I'd probably be a little worried. But I'm like, he fucking nailed it. I'm like, that is why this is a shitty game, but you're quite good at it. And kudos to you, surgeon.
Hell yeah.
Well, look at you. 10 chicken wings up, 10 chicken wings down. You mother of dragons. You fire-starting prodigy. Nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you, my friend. This camera, only this one camera. Let the people know what you got going on in your life.
Well, right now I'm planning to eat no more hot wings, and I'm gonna drink some booze and celebrate my sister's birthday.
Ice cream cake, yo!
Ice cream cake! I'm just gonna do this time.
Hey, 10 points. Well done, Dianna.